FMB. And thanks for being there with us. Let's have our top stories. Cameroon and Zambia pulled a 1-1 tie this afternoon in Saudi Arabia in the last first match ahead of the 2023 African Cup of Nations expedition in Côte d'Ivoire. And the population of Bamousso in the southwest region of the country in dire need of infrastructure, where this area has been facing very difficult times, especially with the escalating Anglophone crisis. And New Year wishes to First Lady Chantal Biya as she communions with the wives of members of the diplomatic corps. Those were top stories. You're welcome to join me. I'm Kejan Henry Atimbe for the 6:15 news. It was, of course, you can equally hook up with us on our platforms on Canal International, YouTube, as well as on Facebook. It was not an easy game for the indomitable Lions this afternoon in Saudi Arabia as they pulled a 1-1 tie with the Chipolopolo of Zambia in the last test match ahead of the 2023 African Cup of Nations expedition in Côte d'Ivoire. The encounter played in Saudi Arabia wasn't an easy one for Song Bahanak and his boys, with Zambia taking the lead at the 11th minute, but the Lions struggled for an equalizer 9 minutes after. All chances during the second half of the game yielded no fruit on both sides. The FECAFO delegation will jet off to Yamoussoukro, where they will play their first group match of the tournament on Monday, January 15 against Guinea, which actually defeated the Eagles of Nigeria yesterday in a friendly. And so we'll be coming back with details on that. And still talking about the African Cup of Nations, Cameroonians are bracing up for the AFCON 2023 fever that is coming up on Saturday, January 13. And to this effect, TV repairers and shops are doing brisk businesses as they are witnessing a surge in demand for repairs. Kizzy Kiga went through some of these shops, and this is what she came out with.
AFCON 2023 is knocking at our doors, and Cameroon is one of the countries tipped as favorites for the Continental Jamboree. In Douala, Cameroon, just like in other towns and villages, there is a boom in TV repair business. A growing number of skilled technicians have capitalized on this trend, offering their expertise to fix damaged TV sets to satisfy customers before the D-Day.
The AFCON is in days, you see, some few days to come. So customers are coming to fix the different electronics parts they have here, the different electronics components they have to be ready for the AFCON.
La Côte d'Ivoire.
Ivory Coast has organized the AFCON. The reason why since 1 week I have been. Though working under pressure, some of these technicians say they have no choice as it puts food on the table at the end of the day. We are working under serious pressure now. We try to satisfy our customers as we can, maximally. I have a big family that I care for. During the African Cup of Nations like this one, I have a lot of work to do. With AFCON anxiety reaching fever pitch, many have confessed they will watch the games at the fan zone, which to them looks more exciting.
And a 52-year-old man in Baribakem, that is in the Mongo division of this littoral region, has finally married his 5 concubines on the same day, the 52-year-old actually signs the marriage in front of an entire population, congratulating him for having signed the marriage after close to 30 years living in concubinage between him and 4 of the wives for between ages 42 and 49. And so they legalized their marriage on January 6. And the polygamist has been living with 5 of the wives for 30 years and the last one for 16 years. He has 27 children. And let's get an excerpt of him. Let's move over to Bamuso, where the subdivision in the Bakassi Peninsula has expressed a need for the government to put in place infrastructure that will help them in their well-being. The lack of potable water and the construction of a market as well as an embankment will permit the population to make sure they speed up with their development. There is equally the need of modern structures like schools. Let's get the details from our Southwest Chief Correspondent Ines Ondwabala.
This is a Bamuso subdivision in the Bakassi Peninsula of the Southwest region. The locality is fast becoming a touristic site, a center of attraction for leisure. The well-being of the population of this area is a major preoccupation of the municipal authority, who is leaving no stone unturned to develop Bamuso.
We came to Bamuso, we met an old dilapidated council building. We have been able to lobby through FECOM, and we now have a befitting, gigantic council chamber that is visible by all, worth 350 million. The subdivisional headquarters did not have a befitting grandstand. We have constructed a befitting municipal stadium. The subdivisional headquarters, people used to live with bush lamps like in primitive era. But today, if you come to the subdivisional headquarters, there is light everywhere. The beaches has been embanked. The water was encroaching seriously, but we have done embankment and done some backfilling. We have done suspended footpaths. We have built hospitals. We have constructed bridges to link villages that people hardly go. But now there is no part in Bamuso subdivision that you cannot go. So we have constructed bridges. We are building schools. There are a lot of things, and we still have to do.
In 2024, the over 844 million franc CFA will enable the council to carry out more developmental projects with emphasis laid in infrastructures and economic activities with all villages of Bamuso involved.
It is a big benefit for me to see primary schools being built, hospitals rehabilitated, health centers built, forestry buildings built, bridges reconstructed, electricity in the subdivisional quarter running all through. There are so many benefits we can name. We, in this mandate, have a lot of things we can point and say this is what was done during our mandate.
The 2,000-seater municipal stadium, supplied of electricity, construction of hospital, bridges to link villages and embankment along the coastline is an encouragement for the population to come and settle in this locality, which is fast becoming an island of peace.
Well, thanks very much, Ines. Let's retract a little bit to talk more about polygamy as this practice was a normalcy for men to have more than 2 wives or 2 women without any problem. And so this did not cause any alarm. He takes a look at the perspective of polygamous marriage in Cameroon.
Je ne peux même pas accepter. Je ne peux pas. Que de rester en Afrique pour faire moi bon. Je me vivre seul.
Polygamy, a legal practice in Cameroon, is met with mixed reactions from women who often find themselves with the inconveniences.
Moi-même, je suis née dans une famille polygamie. Je suis née. Ma mère était la première femme, c'est la magie. Quand mon père a pris la deuxième femme, bon. Et chaque jour, les problèmes. Après, elle a pris la troisième femme. C'était la catastrophe, c'était la magie. Moi, j'ai vécu dans une famille polygamie. Et moi, je ne peux pas accepter la polygamie parce que c'est ce que j'ai vécu, c'est ce que j'ai vu ma mère subir dans une famille polygamie. Moi, je ne peux pas accepter.
Some women, however, see they can't accept accept a polygamous marriage if it doesn't involve separate household for each wife, thus minimizing the potential conflicts that may arise.
Foyer polygamie, déjà, c'est trop de problèmes entre les enfants, entre les femmes. Bon, maintenant, là, on peut aller dans un foyer polygamique si les conditions sont bonnes. Chaque femme est de son côté. Donc, une en Banga, à Douala, une à Yaoundé. Là, on ne se rencontre pas. Oui, on peut gérer. Parce que là, tu peux que ton mari a une chisa. Donc, tu considères tes épouses comme des chisas. Tu mets dans ils ne sont pas là. Tu gères ton chez toi. Mais dans la même maison, là, vraiment, c'est pas possible.
A traditionalist holds that polygamy has both positive and negative aspects. He does not oppose polygamous marriages.
Bon, la polygamie, elle est bien parce que elle est multipliée pour remplir la terre. La polygamie, c'est aussi une richesse pour une famille qui se respecte, disons, spirituellement. Voilà, c'est une richesse.
It should be noted that polygamous marriage is against the biblical verse and the church cannot accept of such blessing.
According to our culture accepts polygamy. But according to the Holy Scriptures, according to Bible teaching, God created one man and one woman. Apart from that time, we cannot accept in church polygamy. The only form of marriage is monogamy because God created one man.
Polygamy, which is generally defined as a marital relationship involving multiple spouses, is practiced over 850 communities, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and Oceania.
Warmth communion between the First Lady, Chantal Biya, and the wives of members of the national dignitaries. Let's get these New Year wishes. Courtesy Beatrice Ngamo.
27 delegation for the national dignitaries. The ritual started with wives of members of the Bureau of the Senate, led by the wife of the Vice President, Anastasia Nkili. That of the National Assembly followed. Wives of members of government, Grace Diongute leading, each with a bouquet of flowers in varied shape and sizes. Female parliamentarians, senators, women wing of the ruling CPDM party all filed through. The words Happy New Year was sent back and forth amid smile, embrace and handshakes. The 10 also of the Circle of Friends of Cameroon, Serac. The ladies filed through to exchange New Year salute with their president, Chantal Biya. Businesswomen, those from non-governmental organizations like special guests, were part of the tradition. So too the delegation from the Chantal Biya Foundation. Chantal Biya International Reference Center for Research on HIV and AIDS, African Synergy, and the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital, Cliquez. Female journalists at the head, the director of SOPECAM, Marie-Claire Nana, were among the guests for the New Year communion. Like the other media, Canal the international ladies answered present. The day was flavored with ambience, live plays by artists from all cultural areas of the country. Old-timers like the new music, tunes that took many ladies to their feet. Cherished moments with beautiful colors, not only from the looks and styles of the ladies, but adorned with the decorations around the garden and inside the main residence of the Unity Palace. Happy New Year handshakes over, the First Lady joined in the show with her guests, ambience with Ndediye Yango and others. Each guest left the Unity Palace with a thanks for coming gift, souvenir from the presidential couple, Paul and Chantal Biya.
Thanks very much, Beatrice Ngamu, reporting there from Yaoundé. Let's swing up to Ndop, that is in the northwest region of the country, to meet our man on the beat, Annie Collins, who tells us that the project to revamp the UNDVA is already on. Annie Collins. Well, sorry for the poor quality of those pictures. We're expecting those Annie Collins' report to come up and a JF. Well, that draws the curtain for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry Yatembe, thanking you for being there. Good evening.